So now we will study two case studies related to staffing. Real case studies. So the first case study is on Google. Staffing at Google. Let's see what the case study says. Background of the study. Google is known for its rigorous and innovative staffing processes. The company aims to hire the best talent in the tech industry and to maintain its competitive edge. Google's staffing strategy focuses on finding candidates who not only have technical skills but also fit well in the company's culture and values. Now, the process of recruitment in the Google is first there is employee referrals. Google relies heavily on employee referrals, encouraging current employees to refer talented individuals. Means they encourage their current employees, those who are working in the Google currently, they encourage them to refer to the candidates because the candidates who are on reference, their background is well known. And the second point is university recruitment. The company has strong relationships with top universities and regularly recruits from these institutions. And the third is online job portals. Job openings are posted on Google's career website and other job portals. Recruitment agencies for certain positions. Google also collaborates with recruitment agencies. Now, the process of selection of Google is first there is application screening, means resume or we can say CVs are screened into shortlisted candidates who meet the job requirements. Then there is phone interview. The candidates whose applications have been screened, then the shortlisted candidates will undergo phone interviews to assess their technical and problem solving skills. Then comes the on-site interviews, means the candidates who pass the phone interviews are invited for on-site interviews, which includes multiple rounds of technical and behavioral assessment. Then comes the Googliness and leadership interviews. In addition to the technical skills, candidates are evaluated for Googliness, which means cultural fit, and the leadership potential. In the last point of selection process is hiring committee, which means that the final decisions are made by a hiring committee to ensure a fair and unbiased selection process. So this is all about the case study, and now let us see what are the questions related to these case studies. Now, the first question that arises is what recruitment sources does Google use to attract the candidates? Okay, so what are the sources that Google uses to attract more of the candidates to apply for the job in the Google? So, as we have seen in the case study only, Google uses employee referrals, it uses university recruitment, and also it uses online job portals and recruitment agencies to attract more of the candidates who can apply for the job in the Google. Now, the next question is how does Google ensure that the technical competency of its candidates are met? Okay. We have seen in the case study that Google usually uses phone interviews and even the multiple rounds of on-site technical assessment so as to evaluate the candidate's technical skill as well as the problem solving abilities. Now, what does the third question says? It is what is Googliness and how it is assessed. It is already specified in the case study. Googliness is the cultural fit of the employees in the organization, or we can say in the Google. Okay, so Googliness refers to the cultural fit of the candidate with Google values and the work culture of Google. It is assessed through specific interview questions, and even it is evaluated that a candidate's personality, creativity and adaptability matches the Google rules and regulations or not. Now, the next question arises is how does the hiring committee contribute to the selection process? Okay, the hiring committee, it always reviews all the candidates and it evaluates and it makes the final decision to ensure that an unbiased or we can say a fair selection process is followed while selecting the candidate in the Google. Last question says why is university recruitment a key part of Google's staffing strategy? University recruitment allows Google to even tap into a pool of young and we can say talented or active and even motivated graduates from top universities of the world so as to ensure a continuous inflow of fresh ideas and skills, because youth obviously had the best ideas which can be implemented by the Google employees for the better working. Now the second case study, it is about staffing at Starbucks. Okay, let's see the background. What does the case study says? It says that the Starbucks, a global coffee house chain, emphasizes creating a positive and inclusive work environment. Okay, the company's staffing strategy focuses on hiring employees who are passionate about coffee and customer service. This is all about case study. Now the recruitment process of Starbucks is, first it pays emphasis on the internal promotions. Starbucks encourages career growth and frequently promotes employees from within. Okay, job fairs, which means that the company participates in job fairs to attract potential candidates. The third is online job application. Job vacations are advertised on Starbucks career website and other online portal jobs. Okay, the community outreach, which means that Starbucks engages in community outreaches program to attract the local talent. What is the selection process of Starbucks? It is, first there is application review, then there is initial interviews, then there are group interviews, and then the on-site assessment, and then the final interview. What does the application review says? It is, applications are reviewed to identify candidates with the relevant experience and a passion for customer service. Then comes the initial screening, which means shortlisting candidates undergoes initial interviews with store managers to assess their suitability. Then comes the group interviews, which means candidates participate in group interviews to evaluate their teamwork and communication skills. Then is on-site assessment, which means candidates are invited for a trial shift to assess their practical skills and to fit with the team. Then we have final interview, which means a final interview with seniors management is conducted to confirm the candidate's suitability. Now here are some questions related to the case study. What does the first question says? It is about, what recruitment method does Starbucks use to attract its candidates? So we can say that Starbucks usually uses internal promotions, which means job fairs, online applications, and community outreach to attract more of the candidates to apply for the job. Next question is, how does Starbucks assess the customer service skills of candidates? Starbucks uses initial interviews like group interviews, trial shifts to evaluate the customers or the candidates' customer service skills and teamwork abilities. Then the third question is, what is the purpose of the trial shift in Starbucks selection process? Okay, the trial shift allows Starbucks to assess the candidates, their practical skills, how they interact with their customers, are they even able to interact with the customers, or are they even fit for the existing team? Now the next question is, why are group interviews used in the Starbucks selection process? Okay, the purpose for conducting the group interview is that group interviews will always help in evaluating the candidate's teamwork, his communication skills, and his ability to work collaboratively in a busy environment. Now the last question is, how does internal promotion benefit Starbucks staffing strategy? So internal promotions boost employee morale. It leads to reducing turnover and to ensure that the employees with a deep understanding of the company's values and operations move into the leadership environment or leadership position. So through this whole case study, we have understood that the importance of a well structured staffing process is very necessary for specific needs and for the culture of an organization. By using a combination of recruitment sources through selection process, like companies like Google and even Starbucks can attract the and retain the best talent in their organization. So our next topic is performance appraisal. Performance appraisal, basically it is an essential process for managing the employee's performance to analyze if they require any training and provide them the trainings whenever it is needed to enhance their performance, providing them the feedbacks about their performance and making them informed about the decisions regarding their promotions. It could be regarding their compensations and their professional development. Now the next topic is objectives of performance appraisal. First objective is assessment of performance, which means to evaluate how well the employees are performing their job duties. Let us understand this with an example. For example, if an employee is being provided a sales target of say 50,000 units, right? In a quarter, means in a quarter he has to produce 50,000 units. But and then at the end of the quarter, his performance will be assessed. Means his actual performance and the set target would be assessed. Means if he has achieved, for example, 55,000, but the target was of 50,000, means that he has exceeded the expectations. Means he has manufactured 5,000 extra units. See, so at that time it needs support or training to improve. But already he is producing good amount of unit. Then already his performance is very well. Second comes the feedback. Now, after providing the constructive feedback to help the employees understand their strengths and areas for the improvement, now let us understand this with an example. For example, if a software developer receives feedback highlighting his excellency in coding skills, but also notes that their documentation needs improvement, means he has good skills or excellent skills for coding, but he has not completed his documentation properly, the manager would suggest attending a technical writing workshop. Means the feedback for that particular employee will be provided. The third objective is development and growth. Development and growth means to identify the training and development needs to enhance the career growth of the employees. For example, during the appraisal, a marketing manager might express interest in digital marketing, right? The manager identifies that this is a development area. Means this is something in which he can grow, he can develop his skills, and so he enrolls himself in a digital marketing certification courses. Now, after these three objectives, next comes the compensation decision, which means to inform the decisions about promotion, salary increase, and the bonuses. Let us understand this with an example. If an employee consistently, exceeds his performance targets and demonstrates leadership skills, means based on the appraisal skills or the results, he or she would receive a promotion and a corresponding salary increase. Means he is achieving his targets very well, and he is even achieving target to the best, but he is producing more units than the desired ones, right? So in that case, he or she would definitely be promoted, and obviously the salary of that employee will also be increased. Now, next objective is motivation and engagement. The motivation and engagement, it means to recognize and to reward the efforts so as to increase the job satisfaction and motivation level among the employees. Understand this with an example. If an employee who has successfully led a project receives a performance bonus, right, and public recognition as a team building, boosting their motivation and engagement. This would be motivation and engagement, means appreciating the particular employees for the things they have done well. Then comes the documentation. Documentation means to maintain a record of the performance of the future references, right? For example, detailed performance appraisal records should be kept, right? Documentation of an employee's his achievements and the areas for improvement are noted at a place, and this information supports future decisions on promotions or termination whenever it is required in the organization.